On this episode of Taskforce Geek, we will talk about that new epic Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, plus maybe an appearance by Mecha Godzilla. We discuss what's happening with the Harry Potter TV series. Scott has an update on some Supershow cards. And we're going to open a pack of collectible cards from the black hole. And I'm going to eat the gum in there. And that's all coming up next. Hey, welcome to Task Force Geek. My name is Dark Cooper, and today I am joined by Walt.
How you doing, everyone?
And Sean.
Yo.
And Scott.
Howdy. And Sean's also eating the gum. You both said you would eat that gum.
Is he? I wasn't sure if he agreed to do that silly stuff.
I don't remember that ever coming out of my face.
See, that's
I
why I didn't.
both of you. Okay.
I don't remember.
That's why I didn't claim.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But I'll do it.
I mean, he's got a pack.
Yes.
He has a pack, so if he wants to, he can.
And since I'm in Texas, I'm free of that. So,
Woo! Yeah, sorry. The eBay auction only had 3 packs. So, like.
Hey, Takita Lee says, good evening. Good evening to her.
good evening.
Howdy.
Brian is second. He says, sensational performance already.
He's a clown.
And she says, hey guys, just so everyone knows, I control those things. So if you put it up there and it doesn't come up immediately, it's because I'm controlling when they go up there. Hey, here's Maurice. Nice to see you here.
How you doing?
Howdy.
Maurice wants to know how you guys are doing. And I do too.
Great.
Doing pretty good today.
Cold. Got a headache.
Wow. Do you have the cove?
No, I can still taste.
Is that what's going on here?
I think it's a cold or an allergy.
Neat. That's always good stuff. All right. So before we get going on this thing, we are looking for guests for Task Force Geek, either for an interview or to join us on the show. If you have something to promote, particularly an independent comic, but also a game, movie, book, or something else that's geeky, we want to help you with the promotion. Contact us at taskforcegeek@gmail.com. Next week, we have regular contributor Casey Jane. She's lined up on the show. And on February 9th, we have Beth Ann Freely. Beth was the first place winner of the 2005 Arch Books Publishing Novel Writing Contest with her novel Behind the Eyes of Dorian Gray. It's a romance with ghosts. Okay. She will be here 2 weeks from tonight on our Valentine's Day show. What are you guys wearing for a Valentine's Day show?
I don't know.
All the ladies will be watching.
That'll be for me. That'll be Singles Awareness Day. So
Singles aware, right? I'm thinking red velvet. I'm thinking mostly red velvet, and there'll be like 100 candles behind here.
Hopefully, this room will be clean.
I'll have almost as many candles as Scott.
There'll be no candles in my room.
No candles, huh?
Hey, Scott.
Marie says it's very cold. Jeree says hi.
Hey, Jeree.
He says yes, and you go.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yeah.
We can hear you now. Could we not hear you before?
No, he was talking, and it was just like.
Why do you keep hitting your mute?
Dude, what is... I think he's BSing us now.
I think so, too.
Hello to Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie.
How to do?
All right. Let's see. Let's do a couple things. Let's have our time machine. Here it comes. Hey, we got an official trailer for Godzilla. How about that? Finally, here it is. It finally happened. And we're lucky enough to have Walt on tonight, who is kind of a fan of Godzilla. If you did not know.
I don't smoke, but I sure did need a cigarette after that. So
wow. Wow. For those of you who don't know, when did that drop? Was that yesterday?
Sunday. Yes.
Sunday. All right. Well, two of the most famous movie monsters of all time are getting ready to throw down in 2021. Godzilla vs. Kong is the fourth movie in Legendary Pictures' MonsterVerse, a franchise of big monster movies that kicked off with 2014's Godzilla and was followed by 2017's Kong Skull Island and 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters. There are a few actors who appeared in Godzilla King of the Monsters that will reprise their roles in Godzilla vs. Kong. Millie Bobby Brown is back as Madison Russell, while Kyle Chandler will play her scientist dad, Mark once more. Chinese star Zhang Ziyi will also return as Dr. Lin Chen. Alexander Skarsgård is going to be in this as a geologist, and he describes himself as not an alpha badass, which is what he's used to playing. That's usually what he plays. As with every movie in the MonsterVerse so far, Godzilla vs. Kong brings in a different director. In this case, Adam Wingard takes over. This is Wingard's first big budget movie, but he has an impressive track record in horror and fantasy cinema with his previous films, including The Guest, You're Next, Blair Witch, and Netflix live action adaptation of Death Note, which was pretty cool. So I have my favorite part that I'm going to share here. I really wanted to do more of this, but I don't think that the YouTube gods would allow me to put more of this trailer on here and get away with it. But I'll show you my favorite part. Here it comes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could watch that on repeat about 20 times.
And the music behind it was excellent
And
too.
the music and all of it. I mean, look, this is going to be the most popcorn of popcorn movies, and I am okay with that. For the first reaction, let's of course go to Walt.
Do you know how long everybody has been waiting for this to drop? I mean,
20 years or something. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
30 years.
And now we get a better view of the ship, because everybody's been thinking that was an aircraft carrier that Kong was on, and we now know that it's not an aircraft carrier, that it's a ship specifically made to carry Kong. So it's huge. The other thing is, and I'm probably going to leave this for you, Dirk, but the little nuggets in that trailer, and specifically, well,
we have another subject that's coming up after this, if that's where you're going with it. We're going to talk about that next.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with that, and I don't want to go up into that, but everything about this trailer is really cool. I also want to say that last weekend, and I never mentioned this last week, but at the stores, some of the things that you see in the trailer, those things dropped. The toys dropped in the stores last weekend. So I looked into some of the things that are seen in the trailer, and I don't want to talk about it because we're going to get into that later. But everything about this trailer, I can't wait. This is a movie I'm going to go see at the theater. So.
Yeah, it's going to be out. They just moved it back, didn't they?
They moved it back a week.
I mean, they just announced it, and then like 2 days later, they move it back a week.
They moved it back a week. We can't hear you again,
Scott. Wait, we can't hear you, man. What the feezy?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
we can hear you now.
Don't touch anything.
All I did is set this right here. I'm telling you, I do it by accident.
All right, man.
When's the official date on this to release?
26th of March. Now
I'm about to say it. 26th of March or May?
Yeah, no, March. But they have that's tentative because they still may move it back again, and if they move it back again, it'll be May 21st or May 21st.
Okay.
I tell you what,
that's what I saw is May 21st.
I'll wait till it's my turn to talk.
Well, it's your turn, man. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, personally, this looks really awesome as long as you can, take your brain out and enjoy this. I remember hearing that there, back when I was a kid, that there was a King Kong versus Godzilla movie, and very upset with the outcome of it, because as a kid I was more of a Godzilla fan, and like how could Kong win and all this stuff. But this looks really fun. I had no clue, because I didn't see the last Kong movie. I didn't know that these were all kind of set in their own same universe. So that's news to me. So maybe that's something, as much as I don't like to go watch movies at home, but maybe that's something I need to do just to kind of get caught up and, enjoy this. It doesn't matter though, right? Because this is a big fight between two big monsters, two big icons that we've heard about since we were little kids. You might have your favorite, but
you're not
You
going to
wanna
have
see both of
problems
these.
following the plot.
no.
I mean, unless you just really want to do a deep dive into how it all gets started, you
Sure.
can go back and watch.
And I don't know if I care about that much.
Yeah.
What I would say is I would rather see this at the theaters. So I'd be
definitely.
more than happy to hear them push this back even further. Let everybody have time to take the vaccine for the
I'd like
Backstreet
to see
Boys
it in the
reunion
theater,
tour.
too.
Yeah.
And let's see where we're at in a couple months now that there's not big holidays and stuff like that. And let's all make if we have to, because we know the state of Texas will surely have theaters open. We might have to take a trip to see Walt and definitely go watch this live in person. Yeah, in our hazmat
road trip.
suits. So
Hey, if it's playing at the Coyote, since it's a double feature, they need to show a previous Kong or Godzilla movie. We could watch two of them back to back outside in our outside the cars and everything outdoors. So that would even be cool too.
My only fear is that this is so hyped up for it that we're gonna get there and we're gonna watch and go, man, that kind of blew. So I'm kind of scared I'm too hyped because it looks really, really cool, and I don't need to see another trailer at all.
Oh, me either.
I've seen enough. I don't even want to watch that one anymore.
Yeah.
I just hope it's better than like my letdown for Transformers when those came out. So
yeah. I don't even want to get into that subject right now.
I know, different subject. Different
let's see. I'm going to get some comments up from some reactions on this from Takeda and Ronnie, and she said nice. He said he loved Alexander Skarsgård's Tarzan. I did too. She said that one was good.
If only the script was there.
Hello to Betty.
Yeah.
I did not turn off Scott's sound.
No, I do that.
That's not a bad idea. Sometimes that's a good plan. Gary says it's going to be a draw.
Well, from what I've heard, there's supposed to be a distinct winner.
Really?
Yeah, but
it's just going to lead into another movie.
Yeah, they said there's going to be a distinct winner, but they're both going to survive. So I don't know how this is going to play out.
Skull Island was dope.
Yeah.
Thanks, Drake. Look, the last few of these were really good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you enjoy, it's not brilliant movie making. It's fun movie making.
It's fun and it's good storytelling too.
And the last one felt to me like 80s and 90s style, or 70s and 80s style Godzilla movies that you used to watch on Saturday afternoon, on cable access or whatever. I thought it was really a blast. So if they just keep doing that, I'm good with it. And it's pretty cool that they've got, overlapping storylines here. We've had characters that have run through, most of these things. They are actually legitimately building their own little universe and following up on it. Jerry says that Alexander Skarsgård needs something other than Battleship. Man, has Skarsgård been? He's had so many terrible turns with movies. He does deserve a good hit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna eventually see a Ultraman or a Gamera. We got to see those, right?
They don't have rights to either of those.
Not the same studio. Okay.
Not the same. Now, interesting enough, the
Pacific Rim is a legendary property. So
right. So there is talk about Godzilla and Pacific Rim, but since you brought up Ultraman, the creator of Ultraman is the same person who created the Godzilla costume. So there's the connection between Ultraman and Godzilla.
And during the Ultraman show, they repurposed a lot of the kaijus for the Ultraman show. In fact, I think Godzilla's costume makes 2 appearances.
He makes one as a mutated collared lizard.
Yeah, it's got like a big collar on it.
Yeah. And he gets killed by Ultraman. It was just one, yeah.
Okay.
Sean, what do you think about this trailer, and what do you think about the series so far?
So far, I've not been disappointed at all. I mean, how can you be disappointed with giant monsters breaking stuff? And, I mean,
it's kind of hard to screw that up.
The only
it can be done.
The only disappointment I have, and it's just a nostalgic thing, is I loved knowing, just as a viewer watching the movie, knowing that there's a guy in a costume stomping on model buildings. That was fun to me, you know, and I don't know about any of you, but, you know, me as a kid, if there were just, you know, some loose boxes, you draw windows on it and you go crashing through those things just because.
Hell yes.
So that was these movies look too dang good. You know, they didn't look.
They don't look phony enough,
right? You know. But beyond that, yeah, no, they're fantastic. I've loved them. I've loved everything about them. I think they do a great job of bringing them into modern day, while also paying tribute to the foundations, to where they came from. They've done a fantastic job, and I look forward to where they take them.
It's definitely a guy thing, Takeda.
Yeah. Oh, hey. If you want to see cardboard boxes as buildings, and since we're all kind of wrestling fans, you should check out Kaiju Big Battel, which is an indie professional wrestling, and they all dress up in kaiju monster outfits, and they set up cardboard boxes as buildings in the ring. It's really fun stuff.
Nice.
And the monsters are outrageous. Like there's one that's a waffle. So if you
why not?
If you want to watch some crazy wrestling and you like old fashioned Godzilla movies with fake buildings and really cheesy stuff, I highly recommend looking that up online. You know, Kaiju Big Battel, and that's Battel. So, yeah.
What the heck does that mean? Okay, so in addition to that, there is some thoughts that maybe, just maybe, Mecha Godzilla makes an appearance in that deal.
Why did I think
the first time Sean said it, I was sitting the first time he saw it, he said, "I think I saw Mecha Godzilla," and I've looked at it, and I guess it's right at the very beginning of the trailer.
I thought that too.
There's two
I've
instances.
missed it every time.
So
but here's a screenshot from like people running down these stairs, and you can see off in the distance. And then there's this shot. You can see it a little bit better.
You're right there.
That's not Godzilla.
Beautifully.
That's not Godzilla. And then there's one more. So
no, that's clearly metal.
So I mean, the second one I think is the clearest.
So there's another moment in the trailer. I guess it's the Chinese actor that's playing the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
There's a video screen behind him.
Oh.
And there's a big block of text, but the big block of text is covering underneath the bottom. You can see a mechanical foot drawing of a foot down underneath there. So that's the second instance where you get the look. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I figured the overall plot is these guys are going to fight, and then something else is going to show up.
And
they're going to fight it, and then they're going to go their separate ways.
They're going to have a common enemy, of course.
Right.
So
and they're also suggesting sure. They're also suggesting that Godzilla is being controlled or affected somehow, which is why Godzilla is causing
right. So these last Godzilla movies, and even Kong Skull Island, they make a lot of references to the old movies. I mean, they give so much homage to the old movies. And if you recall, the first time the Mecha Godzilla made its first appearance on the big screen, he was disguised as Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a piece of the fake flesh came off, and you could see the metal underneath. So, hey, Dad. So, I got a feeling that they're going to make some kind of homage to one of the older movies. like they always do. Like in with King of Monsters, there was a callback to the Oxygen Destroyer. Because Monster Zero
and the twins or whatever.
The twins. So there's always some sort of callback to an older movie. So and I like looking for those little Easter eggs. So I got.
It's been so long since I've seen those. Sometimes I don't catch them, even though I saw them. But I saw them 30 or 40 years ago.
Right.
And they had so many of those movies. I mean, holy cats!
Don't you wish you would watch TV like you did kind of as a kid? I mean, now as an adult, when I want to sit down and watch something, I'm like really anal about how I sit down and the sounds way up. And I'm trying to focus so I don't forget something. And as a kid, we just had it on and we played, and then we watched it 75 times to absorb it all.
Right. So, as we get older, we start paying attention to things and going, oh, like for instance, the Bugs Bunny cartoons. Oh, that's the joke, and it's even funnier then. So,
you
definitely catch stuff later on.
Yeah. So my big thing now is I'm looking for. There's been all sorts of callbacks to the old 60s and 70s Godzilla movies. There's been some callbacks to the 90s, like the big mega airplane from King of Monsters. I think about the different Super X airplanes from the 90s movies. So it's all been fun. And if you're a huge fan of Godzilla, know the movies, even if you don't know the movies, it's just fun. It's just all fun.
It's giant monsters breaking stuff.
I mean,
you can't go wrong with that.
The effects are so good. I'm like that. This is the first time that this director's done a film like this, but it doesn't look like it. I mean, he's right in the middle of all of this action and stuff. You got it's gritty and you got the explosions and stuff. You look at some people who don't know how to direct action, and it's really a crime. Because you've got this
iron fist. Excuse me.
Right. Or many other. I mean, I think that the latest Wonder Woman film is a good example of someone who doesn't know how to direct action. Bring it.
I'm glad you said that.
I say that she's the new Bryan Singer. He can do special effects, shots and stuff, and do pretty scenes. But when it comes to punching things, not so good.
I'm gonna go halfway and say maybe somebody doesn't know how to write action as well.
Well, and also maybe. I know that Patty Jenkins really likes the final act to be like talking or something, which is not so great for like superhero movies.
No.
I'm going to really talk to him and bring out the heart. I'm going to bring out the heart and hope.
Somebody's spicy tonight.
You talk about writing. There was in the extras of The Mandalorian, the episode that Robert Rodriguez directed. He said that he was given a script that was like 3 pages, and he's like, "Okay, that's great. What do I do with the rest of it?" And he's like, just
have fun.
Have fun.
And Robert Rodriguez is okay. And
right.
They showed his animatic where he took his action figures and his kid.
And
they're plotting out the action and the shots and all this. And I mean,
cool.
it was really really interesting.
Where did you see that?
They ran it right. It's on Disney Plus. It's
like the making of the episode.
It's like the making of the Mandalorian season 2, and it shows you what he did in his backyard with his kids and his action figures, and then it shows it right next to the actual scene, and it's close. It's really close.
It's really close.
He literally where most people would do a digital animatic breakdown of the scene, how they want to shoot it, how they're going to present it. He shot this all with a little camcorder and his action figures and his kid, and then took it to the set the next day, and everybody's like, dude,
he's used to working in his own studio, and that shows. I mean, he has a little warehouse where he did those Spy Kid movies, and stuff, and he knows how to do it on the cheap.
And you know what? And those movies are fun to watch. I have to agree that those movies are really fun to watch for kids.
They're great.
They were a way for him to test out new materials, new technologies for bigger,
make really cool films for cheap.
Yeah, and they were.
Make a lot of money
because he did them all on his own.
Hey, Steve.
What's up, Steve?
Using his using his own materials, his own studio, his own actors, all this. He saved an ungodly amount of money. People that are making $100-200 million movies, he did for like 10.
Yeah,
because he controlled it all. He did everything himself. Absolutely, one of my absolutely favorite directors.
Those Spy Kids things were fun. So what is it? Lava Girl, whatever.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Oh, and getting back to Godzilla, because we went off on a tangent there.
What?
Like we always do.
Impossible.
Sean, if you haven't seen them, the actors that did the motion capture for Godzilla and Ghidorah and King of Monsters, you need to watch the making of. Because there were three guys that did Ghidorah.
Right, because they wanted each head to have a different personality.
Right. The guy who's Kevin is great.
Is he?
Yeah, he's great. You should watch those. And then the guy who plays Godzilla, that dude is massive.
Really?
He's massive. And when you see him like he's going through all the motions and you're like, that dude is Godzilla. So So if you can find those on YouTube, you should check them out. They're pretty cool.
I will do that.
All right, we're moving on to the next subject, guys. I'm excited to talk about this subject because we've never talked about this on the show. We've been on here for a year, and it's kind of a big deal. So, in any case, Harry Potter live action TV series is in development at HBO Max. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter, not a chumpy source, that executives at the Warner Media-backed streamer have engaged in multiple conversations with potential writers exploring various ideas that would bring the beloved property to television. Sources say broad ideas that have been discussed as part of the early-stage exploratory meetings. While it's news that executives at HBO Max and Warner's are engaged in meetings to find a writer and pitch for a Harry Potter TV series, no writers or talent are currently attached, as the conversations are still in the extremely early stages and no deals have been made. News that talks are underway for a Harry Potter TV series should come as no surprise given the value of the franchise to Warner Brothers. Rowling's 7-book series was adapted as 8 feature films that grossed more than $7 billion worldwide. Warner's also has the Fantastic Beasts prequel series of films with a third movie to bow next year and 2 more likely to come afterward. So, first off, how many people are Harry Potter fans on here? We've never talked about this. Anyone? Have you guys seen the movies?
My children.
I've seen the movies.
That's the thing is, even if we're not super big fans, Harry Potter's huge, folks. Harry Potter for a lot of people is like Star Wars was for us.
Well, sure.
Very formative, a big deal. They were very excited to see the conclusion of the series, and they are excited. They will be excited about a television series.
Well, I remember before Harry Potter got big, and you went to school with this girl too. She goes by Emma Graham now.
Yeah.
You remember Emma? I worked with her,
Sure.
and I remember I was reading a book, I think at work, because the bosses were gone, and she said, "Oh, if you like, kind of fun books, you should try this thing called Harry Potter and the Sorcerer." I think it was the Sorcerer's Stone or whatever the original title was.
I think that's the first one.
And she goes, "It's like
correct us if we're wrong."
She said like it's in the young adults. She goes, "So don't let that scare you." She's like, "I really think this is going to be a big deal one day." And I thought,
oh wow, so she was ahead of the game on that thing.
She said they're really fun and it's a big deal. And I remember going to Hastings at the time and getting a new book and stuff. And I kind of just passed on it. It was like, it's not for me or whatever else. And of course, I never read the books, and here we are many years later. There was even a trading card game at the time. I remember playing that with our college buddy James.
Yeah,
that was made by the same people who make Magic the Gathering. I don't hate Harry Potter, and I think my sister just adores it and loves it, and I think it's really fun because now she's like buying the Harry Potter Legos, and you guys you and Sean have been around my sister a little bit to know like that's not like her normally.
That's
as she's getting older, she's really enjoying. She said she loves building the Legos just to de-stress and stuff, but she likes Harry Potter stuff. So my kids have been reading the books. They've been enjoying the movies. They want to wear the clothes. They want to have the fake wands. They want the robes. So it's definitely a good thing to say that generations and continuing, Star Wars, because they care about Harry Potter like I cared about Star Wars.
Exactly.
So, as for a live action TV series, why not? Now, what they're going to really do, I don't know. I mean, like maybe, Harry's teaching a class and it's a comedy, like, Saved by the Bell. I have no idea. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if they do this. And it also at the same time wouldn't shock me if they don't do this. So we'll see in time. My kids would watch it 1,000,000 times, though. That's for dang sure.
I mean, come on, man. It's surprising that we don't have more Harry Potter stuff.
I mean, it would be printing money. It's stupid not to do it.
Yeah,
come on.
Even if it was bad, people would watch it and love it.
Exactly.
It could be an animated show about different things that happened at the school while they were out getting in trouble. I mean, like
he said specifically, it's a live action show, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's see. Ronnie has he calls him Harry Pooter. Is not even close to the Lord of the Rings.
Well, that's because Ronnie's old and he read Lord of the Rings when they hit the newsstand back in the day.
You know how Star Wars was a big deal for us, and Harry Potter was a big deal for millennials. I guess if you're a little older,
Lord of the Rings. Ronnie likes poetry and songs about trees and halflings. So
Dree loves Harry Potter. He chimes in again. Jennifer says, "I'll watch it. Love Harry Potter."
Oh man, if we don't have a show to watch together, that means I'll get stuck watching it too. So
it's probably going to be 52 minutes long.
Oh, then that's not good for me.
I feel it coming.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is a wholesome fantasy world that a generation loved. And
would people still be interested in Harry Potter stuff like that world without those main characters in it?
Well, I mean, the test for that, let me get through this deal. Okay. Jerry says you're wrong, Ronnie, and Ronnie says that stings.
Whatever,
the test for that is the Fantastic Beasts, which is doing pretty good money.
That's true.
So, the question that I think that I have, I'll go to Walt next. The question that I have is there any possibility that we're going to get like some of the original players to come back for a live series?
Who knows? I mean, if anything, there'll probably be cameos. Right. I mean, and as far as are they going to try and retell the story of Harry Potter, or are they just going to use, or is this just going to be the Harry Potter universe?
I doubt if they'll step on that.
Yeah. So I think
it's not like those need to be improved.
Yeah. This is Warner Brothers' shot at doing a Star Wars universe.
Yes.
This is their number one property at doing a Star Wars universe. They don't necessarily need to do any of the characters proper. There might be some in the background, which would be great if anybody's willing to do it. Yeah, but to try and redo what's already been done would be a horrible idea.
Yeah, I don't think
expanding upon it is the way to go. And that's the only way I see is expanding upon the universe of Harry Potter. What's that? Is it in the Fantastic Beasts where they explore the North America?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so
I guess it's set there.
I mean, you can do an anthology series. You can do a regular serial. I mean, let's have somebody that's going around the world seeing all these other magical areas.
right?
Because every place has them according to the story or the Harry Potter universe. So why not? I mean, and if it's good, I'll watch it. I mean, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I enjoyed the movies. They're not a part of my collection, but those movies were actually good. It almost had me wanting to read the books. But
yeah,
if it's good, I'll watch it. So yeah.
Jennifer says she'll power watch it alone or with the girls. Steve says Harry Potter, can take it or leave it. Probably leave it. And Ronnie concurs. What do you think, Sean?
I'm not a huge, I don't want to say that I'm like a fan of Harry Potter or anything. I enjoyed the movies. That's all I've taken in. I've not read the books. I have not seen the Fantastic Beasts. It's just not, it didn't speak to me. I enjoyed it. It was fun, especially fun watching the kids grow throughout all the films. I thought that was really cool. It was good to see that they had all those kids together throughout the whole show. I don't know.
Is someone playing video or something in the background?
Yeah, who's playing videos in the back?
Nobody's playing videos in the back.
So, are you excited about this? You think this is a good move?
It's, I don't know if I would say it's a good move or a bad move. It seems like the natural move. Everything's going to streaming, so why wouldn't they try to utilize a huge property that they could put that kind of money and that kind of story in. Everything that I've read so far has been this is going to be a continuation of the original story. I've read rumors that the original cast will, as I believe Walt said, there'll be like little cameos here and there. I'm willing to bet that it'll involve Harry Potter's kid, Hermione's kid, in their education in the school.
That's true.
And just kind of the adventures they get into, and I'm curious to see what the big baddie is going to be.
Definitely,
it's obviously not going to be he who shall not be named. So who's it going to be? What's where are they going to take it? I'm curious for stuff like that. I'm really interested to see what they plan to do with the property moving forward.
I think it's interesting. The one good thing about Harry Potter, even though it doesn't interest me, is like how many people go read those books. And I mean, like, when we grew up on Star Wars, you find out there's books. A few people go read it. And it could just be my observation being close to, like, my girlfriend's read the books, my kids, my sister, and stuff like that. So maybe I have more exposure to people that do. But just take those people away and just look outside of the realm of those people. It feels like they have a lot of fans who, oh, I like this. Oh, I need to go get some more. So more than maybe anybody else, going to read the books or whatever. So, like I said, there's money to be made off these people. If you want to look at it just purely as a financial thing, that they're hungry for more right now. So you do it while it's still hot. I mean, like, you're still striking 20-something years later. So,
yeah, I think if you look at the franchises that are out there, you have Star Wars, right? Marvel, Harry Potter.
Yeah, agreed.
Harry Potter is probably number 3. Why we don't have Harry Potter television series already? It's waiting. All the people are waiting for it. It's the most obvious thing ever, and it's one of the universes or worlds or whatever that easily adapts into whatever it is that you want to do. You have, I mean, Fantastic Beasts is set, like I don't know however many years ago. 60, 70 years ago, something like that.
It's set in like in the 20s, I think. I do believe.
Well, that's 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So, that's set 100 years ago. So you have all of the time in between. You could set it in the 70s or 80s, which, right now the 80s are pretty hot. You could set it in the 80s and maybe people get a kick out of that. You could set it in the future after the movies and stuff. I think that, who played Hermione? Help me out.
I don't remember her name. Now that you asked me.
Sorry. Yeah. Someone help me out. She's the only one that it seems like to me is really doing anything like really substantial right now.
Yeah, I don't know why Ron wouldn't be a teacher. Do it, at the university.
Come on, man. Yeah, all of these people, with the exception of her, they're available. Okay. They could easily do a television series with those original actors if they wanted to spend a little extra money.
Thanks,
and make
Steve.
sure that Emma Watson, there it is. Emma Watson's doing all right, but she even may be ready to come back, even if it's not for a regular gig. I think that I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that we're going to see those characters. They did a play with Harry Potter that was like in his 40s or something, and he had kids and the whole thing. I don't know anything more than that about it, but they've established the world with which, the story goes on, and maybe they pick up there. Unlike, say, Lord of the Rings, the person who created it is still there and exceptionally rich and is perfectly capable of helping craft this world further. So, if she wants to pick up the mantle and go after the series of books and the original series of movies, then this is their opportunity. And because these television series are so lavishly produced now, it's entirely possible that you could have a series that looks just as good as the movies and be, 10-hour movies essentially,
or more,
which is, wonderful. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Or 8 30-minute shows. That would be great.
For Scott, 30-minute episodes
at the most.
So
just the first one.
So you're enjoying the WandaVision.
We'll talk later, Walt.
Gary says COVID may change stars' thoughts about being in the television series. Yeah, I mean, everything is moving to streaming.
Yeah,
get in on that. Get your payday. Steve says, I think we need Harry Potter versus Godzilla versus Kong versus Wonder Woman.
Oh gosh,
put it all in there, man. Ronnie disputes my deal. They are making a Lord of the Rings television series for Amazon, so we'll see.
Yes, but no, it's going to be adult.
They're also doing Wheel of Time.
It's going to be what?
It's going to be adult. Lord of the Rings.
Naughty?
Very naughty.
Because everything.
Because like a Game of
everything
Thrones.
is measured versus Game of Thrones.
Be Game of Thrones
or Witcher, which also was adult.
It's going to be Game of Thrones in Middle Earth. Yeah,
somebody I know was watching that Witcher show, and I walked in several times going, "Are you watching pornography?"
I love
it. Really cool pornography.
Like, why didn't you call me up?
Ronnie says Ralph Bakshi.
Going back.
Jerry says there's room for stories.
Oh yeah, and going back to the whole,
she's going to be involved.
Yeah, the creator of
the whinging about J.K. Rowling is nothing.
Yeah, so with J.K. Rowling still being around, still being around to put in input, that's the same thing.
She's still richer than the Queen,
right?
She's got FU money, so she doesn't care about all that.
And just think about that. She literally lived out of her car,
writing that
single mom. Depressed, living out of her car, collecting food stamps, and now is literally one of the richest women in England.
Yeah.
Pretty good story. Scott, do we need to go to your thing? Is it time?
It is almost 7:51, and we can start it. We got to wait officially to 7:51, but we can always BS here for a few seconds.
Well, I mean,
do you have a little header or music or anything to go into?
I don't have any music, but I do have a header. When you're ready, I could sing if you'd like. Or
would you like to sing?
I don't know I would sing.
I'm gonna just go into it now, because if somebody does tune in at 7:51 to see these cool things, then they're not going to care to get a redo of what is Supershow and all that. So what I'm going to talk about just for the next few minutes is I'm going to talk about Supershow. It's a card game. It's similar to if you've ever played Magic the Gathering or any other collectible card game. You can buy different cards to make a deck, and what you are playing in this game is a pro wrestler. This company has made up wrestlers, and it also has signed like independent wrestlers, not on the level of WWF current stars, but people coming up and going into WWF. So there is a AJ Styles card out there in existence. There wasn't many printed. It's worth like $600. I know, because I recently sold one before Christmas. So I'm going to regret that one day, but like there is some collectability, because some of these guys are on the independent circuit and then they get signed to WWE. And so people want to play with their favorite wrestler. What's cool about Supershow is there is a dice component. So you roll the dice. So even if I had the best deck in the world, I might never get a turn if I like roll bad, so like even a novice, and this has happened at conventions, can go in, buy a starter deck and compete against anybody else. It's the dice keep it very balanced. It's a great game. We've had Steve Risk on here many times. It kind of has a mechanic where you have submissions, grapples.
We'll have him on again.
Yeah, submissions. Before the show, he wished us luck because he knew that we were debuting this thing today. So in the game, you have submissions, strikes, and then you have grapples. To sum it up, one's a counter to the other one, and so on. So it's kind of a rock, scissors, paper mechanic in there as well. Every wrestler, if you're going to build a deck, you have a wrestler, and then you have 3 finishing moves, and those are the 3 moves that you can to play out eventually by playing a lead, playing a follow-up, and then you can play a finish. I'm not going to get into everything of that, but so every 30-card deck has 3 finishing cards in there, and that's how you get a pinfall or you get somebody to tap out to end the game. People can kick out using their dice rolls, and if they kick out, the crowd gets hotter and crazier, and it becomes harder and harder and harder to kick out. So
Steve's in on Supershow.
Supershowthegame.com, I believe, is the website. I should have had that ready. You can get in there. Dirk, if you'll really quickly, if you will go to the image that shows Scott Prime and Mistress of Mayhem, J.K. Brawling, I will show you guys these.
What's awesome about else?
Oh, okay.
I was going to try to put up the thing, and then he went off to the. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so in this game, as you can see up here, that is Scott Prime. When they did a Kickstarter many moons ago, I commissioned, as a way to support the Kickstarter, my character. Then years later, I got Jennifer's, my girlfriend. So her character, so mine is Scott Prime, and I have my own little gimmick, as you see on the card.
Look at them abs.
And I gave him everything. I did the sketches for it to hand it over to Steve, and I said, this is my character's gimmick. He's an old veteran. He's grizzled. He's not the best wrestler in the world, but he's okay. And anyways, I got a pretty good character out of it. Then I did the costume designs, worked with Jennifer on that. So we turned all this stuff in for Steve. Jennifer is at the time I met her, she was a single mom with a child with autism. Quite frankly, she's the mom and dad most of the time up until that point. So we came up with a character name, Mistress of Mayhem, J.K. Brawling, which was a play on J.K. Rowling because she's such a Harry Potter person. So this kind of fits. And so Mistress of Mayhem spells mom, right? So she's the mom and everything else. Anyways, now, not now, I shouldn't say that. This quarter, a new tag team is going to go on sale. And Dirk, if you'll put that artwork up, let me introduce you guys to 5 Star Mayhem. This is the tag team of me and Jennifer. And for those who don't know, I also run a Supershow league at Wizards Asylum in Norman, Oklahoma, when we're allowed to play games in the store. I'm the commissioner and also play into the tournaments. Scott Prime is a 2-time WCCW World Champion. He's also a 2-time WCCW Tag Team Champion with the Mistress of Mayhem, J.K. Brawling. We've had the title several times together, and this is the debut of this card. It shows our stats there, which is our power, technique, agility, strike, submission, and grapple. Our gimmick is when you roll agility for your turn or finish roll, you may switch it to power. So that means if I roll my lowest stat, which is agility there 10, I can automatically turn it into a 14 when I play this. In addition, you can draw an extra card for bumps. Bumps is if we hit each other at the same time and rolled the same dice number. We could both, not only would we both draw a card and re-roll the dice, if I played with this tag team, I would draw 2. And then for my third breakout roll, I would get +5 if I roll my strike. So what this is this kind of took the gimmicks of Scott Prime's card and the gimmicks of J.K. Brawling's card and put them together into a tag team, which is fairly normal for Super Show stuff when they do tag teams. What is different about this is a lot of times they match people's stats up. Like Scott Prime has agility 5, then the other guy has agility 5. Scott Prime has a technique of 6. This guy's technique 6. So those numbers match. So we had to kind of rearrange those for the grouping of J.K. Brawling and Scott Prime to be 5-star Mayhem. So let's go into the first
Scott,
finish card.
For people who don't know,
you guys,
it's important to say that this is a debut of a card. For people who are into this game, they're getting to see a preview of a card that is just
it's
about
not
to be
released. It will release this quarter, Steve told me.
Which is a big deal for people who play the game.
Right. I was told hopefully at the end of February, but he said safe to say first quarter.
It's pegged to you, but it's a big deal for people who play the game. Like to know what's coming down the road. And
if
that
anybody's
sort of
watching this and says like, I got to get
it's fun to have
card, or I got to get a J.K. Brawling card, you can go to supershowthegame.com and buy those cards, that grouping of cards along with a starter, and you can play as our character. So it's pretty cool.
Right. I just want to make sure everyone knows this is a debut of a deal. It's a big deal, particularly to people who play the game.
Sure. Okay. Can you put our tag team up really quick? And I'm just going to explain to people something.
This here?
As you look on the card, if you look off to that where those numbers are, you're going to see the icon that shows like Scott Prime, and then you're going to see a little icon that says Mistress of Mayhem. Those are to indicate on this card that you can use finishes from the Scott Prime deck, because he comes with 3 finishes, or the Mistress of Mayhem set of cards. You could sub in one of their finishes there. And as you see underneath that block of text that shows those numbers of power and technique and stuff, there's a little thing that says tag team. So you can use generic finishers designed for a tag team as well. So if you do not like these next 3 finishers that I'm about to show you, you could sub in the JKO, one of J.K. Brawling's finishers, into this deck. You could sub in the Primal Scream, which is Scott Prime's submission move, and play those with this tag team instead of the cards that I'm about to show you. So let's go ahead real quick and debut card number 28. This is called Match of the Year. This is our strike finish. It shows J.K. Brawling coming off the top rope to hit Merlin Van Berlin, who Scott Prime is holding up in the air. I have some, when I created my character, Scott Prime, I said that, when I was an up and coming rookie, Merlin Van Berlin, I lost a hair versus hair match to Merlin Van Berlin over there in Germany when we were younger and had hair. And he made me cut my hair. He turned on me. We used to be tag team over in Germany. Anyways, I always explain to people, this is not Scott in real life. This is like Scott Prime if at 20 he went to wrestling school and this is how his life went out, So a lot of people make up their characters of them as they are currently and all this stuff. Anyways,
Jennifer says I look badass. I love it.
Yes, you do.
So this move would be akin to the old Doomsday device that the Legion of Doom used to use as their finisher, or even Demolition, who, raise a guy up and then they kind of hit him off. And instead of the clothesline, which was what LOD used, this is a kick because J.K. Brawling has one of her strike moves is a kick. So this kind of combines those. So this card is unique. If you use this finish, you're going to get +2 to your agility, +1 to your strike, which if you know the mechanics of the game, that would make more sense to you. Your opponent discards a card from their hand. And if this is a tag team match, you can double those bonuses. So if you play this card with our tag team, that really is a +4 to agility and a +2 to strike. Okay. So if you go to the next, stop right there. If you look at the very bottom, the only symbol on this card is the Mistress of Mayhem icon. So that's very important. Let's go to card number 29. 29 is also called Match of the Year. It just shows it from a different angle. It shows more of Scott Prime holding up Merlin Van Berlin. This is a +1 to power. Now you got to remember, if you're playing the tag team alone, I can change my agility to power. So, that helps. +2 to grapple. I can draw a card. And if this is a tag team match, double these bonuses. So +2 to power, +4 to grapple. So a big deal. And if you look at the bottom, this card says just Scott Prime's logo on it. So if you'll put the piece of artwork that shows both of these artworks on there, I've had many people ask me why. Most time people have a finisher, grapple, all the finishers have different names. Why did I choose to have one name for two different finishes? Because it's tag team. And most tag teams, like New Day has, some finishing moves, but they don't, to me, the traditional tag teams don't have three different finishing moves. They have like a solid go-to move. In ECW, the Eliminators had total elimination, so do you guys get where I'm coming from, you old school wrestling fans?
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
I mean, Legion of Doom, what else did they do to finish off their matches? They did their move. And so the reason why I call this the match of the year is because we did several times. We had some feuds going with the Law and Paw connection in our league that we would max out the crowd meter where it was just crazy. So the crowd was going crazy, and like we'd throw a finish down. We're like, this is the match of the year, and go nuts. So that's why this finish is called that. Besides, if we're bad guys and nobody likes us, the announcer still has to say the match of the year. So it makes us sound good, even if we're doing terrible, right? Like nobody likes us, guys. Here's the match of the year. Then people hear that and go, these guys are bragging or whatever. So our finisher is called the match of the year. And the reason there's two different finishes with the same name is, like I said, tag teams go to those moves often. Also, because these cards have a specific icon for Scott Prime, that card can be played in the Scott Prime deck as a single. The match of the year on the finish strike that just has Mistress of Mayhem icon can only be played in the tag team or JK Brawling as a single. The reason I did this specifically, I designed these two where we couldn't cross these over, but if I was playing Scott Prime and I built my deck where I took out my normal grapple finish, which is the heart 5-star heart punch, and I decided to put in match of the year, this would represent Scott Prime wrestling somebody. And then when I lay this card down, obviously the ref's head was turned. JK Brawling came in and helped me win the match. Does that make sense? She did some interference without me getting disqualified.
She's on the outside of the ring.
Exactly. She runs in when the ref's down, and I throw this grapple finish down if I'm playing the single Scott Prime deck, and she kind of helps me storyline-wise, helps me win the match. Same thing if you'd play the match of the year in the Mistress of Mayhem deck. This strike card allows Scott Prime to run in from outside of the crowd and kind of help her finish without us getting officially disqualified. Because in Supershow, they do have stuff like, a loaded glove where you can get disqualified, a steel chair, et cetera, et cetera. So I kind of wanted some interactions to happen if you're playing our characters singly or together for these match of the years. And since tag teams do those things often, why wouldn't I come into the ring and help her if the ref was down and vice versa? So as everybody knows, they're supposed to have different effects that like highlight our single characters and at the same time works in a tag team. So there you go, match of the year. Now,
like
this third finish is kind of cool because I got to do the art for it. So this one's called the Love Tap. It shows me doing a half Boston Crab while J.K. Brawling does a crossface across or a STFU to Lawman Nick. This is our submission finish here, so we could both be involved. This one, if you look at the very, very bottom of this, it has the only icon on this card, besides the number 30, is 5-Star Mayhem. This finish can only be played in this tag team, and only there. So it's exclusive for the tag team. I cannot sub this into the Scott Prime deck. J.K. Brawling cannot sub this into her own individual deck. This is exclusive to the tag team, and this is the only time we'll do this. And it's designed that way too, because like if a ref saw, if it was a singles match and, you know, two people were trying to make some guy sub, he would call a DQ on it and the match would get disqualified. So that's why this one doesn't say anything about like double these bonuses if a tag team match or anything else. It's +3 to power. So that's, you know, that's great for our tag team card. We can also look at the opponent's hand, and we can make my grapples +1 for each strike that they're holding onto in their hand. So this potentially could be very dangerous for somebody with a lot of cards, considering like a lot of Super Show people want to have like, sometimes your hand size gets up to 10 very easy. So, and when 1/3 of the deck is strike cards or grapple cards or submission cards, you know, that could be pretty deadly. So
Jennifer likes it.
With that said, I hope that I don't know how many Super Show people we have watching this or not, but you know, Steve gave us the word to exclusively show this for the first time to anybody out there. And so I'm really proud to say that, number one, I got some artwork finally published in the game. So that's cool. And not only that, but
that's cool, man.
You know, me and Jennifer have our tag team officially. And it's kind of neat to do this. With Super Show, you can just grab 2 characters, and there's rules like if I was Sage, you know, and somebody else was, you know, Merlin Van Berlin, we could team up. There's specific rules for that. There's also specific rules for the cards with 2 characters on there. So, you know, there's one that's called, I believe it's Tornado Tag Team Rules, and then there's just Tag Team Rules. So there's different formats in Super Show, just like Magic the Gathering or anything else. It's if you don't know anything about it, if you like pro wrestling even just like this much, but you love games, and especially like card games where you can build decks and stuff, this one is going to be way cheaper than anything out there because you can just play with anything. The cards aren't as expensive as the other stuff, and they do wonderful Kickstarters where you can get a bunch of stuff. And a new one's coming out, I believe in February, at the end of February, maybe. We'll try to get Steve on for that too. You know, book him in so he can kind of prop that up as well. I've done the Kickstarters now for the last, like, I think 4 years now. And it's a great value, and you get a lot of stuff, and a great jumping on point for people who like this. Matter of fact, the story goes, Jennifer didn't care for pro wrestling when we first started dating. Didn't want anything to do with it. That's your realm. You go have fun with the boys. And then she likes games. So she'd come up to the comic shop with me back at the old location where it wasn't as busy. And on Sundays, I got her to start playing this game, and we just made up brackets and started making up little tournaments and stuff. This game got that girl to start watching wrestling because she saw people come out and goes, "Don't we own that guy? Don't we have that girl? Yeah, we have that, you know, those characters." And then she started watching wrestling, and safe to say she's kind of hooked. So anyways, it can, if you're out there and you want your girlfriend to watch wrestling, maybe some Super Show's the way to go.
One of us.
Well, Casey Jane too, who's on the, you know, Casey Jane, who comes on the show too. She has a character out there, Little Miss Fury and stuff. So it's not cheap, but there is ways to get your own character in the game. So, and they're about to do New Japan stuff. So if you're a fan of New Japan wrestling,
I'm actually saving up to have a character put in there. So I'm developing my own character. So,
oh, Walt, I would love that. Let's talk about let's talk about your stats and everything else. They need to match up with Scott Prime, so I have a natural tag team partner as well.
I want to point out that move that you have there with the crippler crossface and the what is it, a Boston crab or something?
Half Boston crab, I think is what they call it. Right?
That is not easy to illustrate. I know when you were doing that, you were trying to figure out exactly how to do it. I mean,
that was the second image.
Super complex. Yeah, it's just insanely difficult to portray that in an image. So you
probably needed one
props.
of these.
Definitely. 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I remember I drew the first picture, I inked it, and I showed it to you guys, and you were like, something doesn't look right, but you could go with that. And then I redid it.
You couldn't read it. I mean, you couldn't tell what was going on, but with this one, when you changed the view on it, it read a lot better.
If we're critiquing art, I'm not real happy with my colors on that, but we're going to try to fix that problem. So I realized that was the I did that on the old Photoshop Elements that's at least 15 years old. So hopefully the next things will look a lot more improved. But I mean, Dirk, Sean, we got stuff coming out soon because Steve's already reached out to us and asked us like, what do we want these moves to do and stuff. So hopefully within this first quarter, we're going to see all of our cards published and able to buy and everything else. So good stuff.
Steve asks if this is the return of Slipstream and Walton Mill.
I don't know about Walton Mill, but Boxhead is top on the list. Yeah,
all right.
When I had the high top fade back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone have anything else they want to say on this before we move on to our feature?
No, that's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was excited. I didn't expect it to get in the mail. It's not like Steve said, "Hey, this is coming in the mail." It just showed up, and I was like, "Holy moly!"
That's cool.
Now I just got to get up to the comic store when we can get to a point where we can have real people in and play games. So
hey, why don't you let me do a Scott Prime car for Gran Turismo?
I would love it. I would love it. Keep everything Prime, baby.
Yeah.
Who did the logo for Scott Prime?
There's an interesting story there, and I don't even know if I want to get into it. I did not do this logo.
You didn't do it.
It's close to. I did a little quick sketch.
Scott does good logos. If the crowd out there doesn't know, so does Sean. So does Walt. Just for the record, but Scott's perfectly capable of doing his own logos if that's something that he was interested in. Or
how can
awesome.
I screen share this? I'm going to see if I can screen share this. Can I do this live?
Put it up there, and I'll post it if you do the right maneuver.
So can I do the screen share?
Just say share the screen and
share screen. All right. So sure.
Let me drive the boat.
All right, I'm gonna let you drive the boat. Ready?
All right.
Can you see anything?
Yeah, we see it. Yeah.
Okay. So the one that got printed is a little tiny sketch that I did, and we were talking, and then Steve talked to me, and we talked about just me going ahead and I don't know if I actually talked to Steve. The bad thing here is there was a lot of different people involved, which he's a business, and I don't know if I didn't go through the right person. I talked to somebody. We were going to do this as the logo, and then it got printed off the other way. So somewhere there was miscommunication. I mean, this is not far off from the sketch I sent them. The one that got published on there is not far off from the sketch that I sent them for the original logo. And then, like I said, I was talking to, I believe, Jennifer Bell, I think is her name. I talked to her and Steve, and I was like, maybe I'll just design it real quick and put it on there. And so this is the one I came up with that didn't get put on the card. Go ahead and do I have to take us off there now? Do I have to stop screen? Oh, you already took me off. Okay.
It's done, man.
When I did see that, I was like, y'all didn't use my logo. And then Steve was like, what do you mean? And all this stuff. And long story short, we talked, and Steve was like, I can trash these and get it published right for you. And I'm like, bro, I'm not going to do that to you. Besides, the other logo is not bad either. It's just not the one I designed. So, there's always more printings of these things. And who knows? There could be a trio card.
I have yet to have any article or illustration printed somewhere where something wasn't wrong. They didn't credit someone, or they didn't use it correctly, or they didn't destroy it somehow by, jacking up the saturation or the contrast, or so. It's like,
it happens
every time something has been printed. It's always been little bit of a disappointment.
Here's the deal. That means somebody in his group maybe didn't communicate with him that they already worked on it. And then I had one, and they took one, and that's fine. They're both fine. They both illustrate 5-star mayhem. And like I said, I might save mine for because he does like trio cards with 3 wrestlers on there, etc. So I might save that for like a trio one day, especially when Walt gets a character made.
Walt, are you really going to do a character?
Hey, me, J.K. Brawling, and the Walt man. I mean, come on, how cool would that be? So
I got on there and I looked at it, and I was looking at like super groups and whatnot, and there's Steve, my buddy Steve there, and we got another friend who's a big wrestling fan too. I was like, the 3 of us are always playing Gran Turismo, and we're always watching wrestling. I said we need to make like almost like a racing group or whatever, and have the 3 of us be a team of some sort, or
Walt, I was telling Dirk this earlier today. If let's say you didn't want to spend all the money to get a face card, is what they call, your face, and all the finishers. There's people who can afford this card, but they don't get the extra finishers because they got to pay the artists.
Right.
So you can get this card, and you go, what do I use for finishes? Well, it says tag team down here, so you can use any tag team finish. There's generic ones out there. I mean, honestly, there's only so many moves 2 people can do. So it's not like me and Jennifer are the only people doing the Doomsday device. That's a very popular one.
Yeah.
The difference is I'm having her kick instead of doing a clothesline. So you could put you and Steve on a card and just use generic finishers until you're able to either afford it or just maybe you don't care. It's fun for you. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, whenever we do get to travel out and travel down to Dallas to see all the toy shows, I'm definitely going to bring us some Super Show decks, and me and Jennifer are gonna teach you how to play, because I
definitely want to play, and we can get Steve in there. Steve's got a little how would you say goddaughter? Is she your goddaughter, Steve? You can chime in on that. But they've been watching wrestling. And I find it funny because they've been watching Monday Night Raw together, and Steve posts a lot of the photos of them watching the show together. And does she have a 24/7 belt now? So,
that's cool.
Yeah. So, and Steve's been in on the virtual crowd a few times too. So, I have to say that's my influence on Steve.
Yeah, Royal Rumble's this weekend. So if you're not a wrestling fan and you haven't been for years, at least the Royal Rumble is always fun to watch. So that's this weekend on Sunday. So
and for those of you who don't know, WrestleMania is coming back here to the Dallas area. So in next year.
And I heard that the Peacock bought WWE Network.
They did.
You're going to have to subscribe to the Peacock, I guess.
From what I've been hearing,
it got her a 24/7 belt. Yes.
Yes.
R-Truth's going to come take it. So.
As long as he brings little Jimmy. So,
Right. All right. Enough wrestling talk. I'm sure the nerds are wanting to hear something else.
All right. We're going to go to our feature. This is the goofiest feature ever. We got some black hole trading cards. Scott, do you want to talk about the origin of these, or where we got these things from?
I got these from eBay, and we were talking about it started with Gigi, or our friend Pump, who sent one of y'all a pack of cards, and I think it's Sean opened them up.
And
they were old G.I. Joe cards from like 1991, 1992, in that era. And we talked about something about is there gum in there, something like that, and then somebody popped off.
Cards always had gum.
Yeah, you're gonna eat the gum. And then somebody said, I thought it was Dirk and Sean, but it was just Dirk, I guess. We'll go look at the tape later.
It was easily me.
Said he would eat the gum. Now, before we do this, I think we should show the cards really well before we.
All right.
Yeah, let's look at the cards.
We have 3 packs.
This is from 1979. These are 42 years.
Sean, you want to go first? For people who don't know, let me give you for people who don't know what the black hole even is. And there are people who are watching this, I guarantee you have not seen this movie. The USS Cygnus is perched precariously at the edge of a black hole. The vast empty nothingness where space and time end. Anything that crosses its border enters a universe of the complete unknown. A story of robots and humanoids, human geniuses and madness, and a spectacular descent into nature's ultimate mystery is the black hole from Disney.
Yeah.
You and you know what?
One thing I want to add is that when this movie came out, black holes were just a theory.
Right.
That is
we
so
didn't
true.
know anything about black holes, how they worked, what
that
they
is
were,
so
what they
true.
did.
Yeah.
This was
it was just something that like Stephen Hawking was proposing, and people were like, we're not really sure if they exist or anything, but this is what we think they are, and this is what they would do. And now, I mean, black holes have gotten a lot of attention here in the last
we have
10
now
or 20 years.
identified them in Interstellar. They actually
for the past 40 years, the look of a black hole was influenced by that film, The Black Hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then
until Interstellar
threw in a bunch of math and let the computers do it. And
So
which was also awesome. But
speaking of also now, they believe that the center of galaxies are black holes, massive black holes now.
Yes.
So
they've been upgraded considerably because they think galaxies are basically supermassive black holes. And then also we were told we would never, ever, ever photograph a black hole. And oops,
we photographed
it. We did it. And also another thing that's just happened pretty recently is that we've been told over and over for the past 40 years, there is no way you could enter into a black hole and survive. And now there's some theories that suggest that you could actually enter into a black hole and come out somewhere else.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. I'm not volunteering to do that.
No, me either.
But
they also said that, you
might go in a black hole once you eat this gum.
I might.
They also said that
stay tuned.
They also said that light couldn't escape a black hole, but they have found black holes releasing light. So, and this is since this movie came out. So, by the way, one of the best music scores in science fiction.
Really good music score, and I mean,
really good music score.
It's not a brilliant movie, but I got to tell you, I watched it not too terribly long ago, and I still enjoy this movie. There's something about the movie. It's got a very strange tone, particularly you got to realize this was back long before Marvel and long before
just after Star Wars
film, and back when Disney was kind of trying to figure out how to move from the Shaggy Dog into competing with Star Wars, and so this was their shot at that. Who wants to? Sean, let's look at your set first, please.
Alrighty.
You've already opened it.
I opened it up because I could tell that the gum was completely demolished. So I didn't want to lose any of the fragments. Nice cards, very good condition. Very interesting. Little shots from the film.
Oh yeah, it had a superstar cast at the time too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the cast is pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Vincent.
Ernest Borgnine, Robert Forster.
Yeah, Robert Forster.
Yvette Mimieux.
What I want to know is
Roddy McDowall. Roddy
McDowall, who was the voice of Vincent. And
Slim Pickens.
Slim Pickens was Bob, right? That's right.
Correct. And who was? I want to say Max von Sydow. That's not correct.
Crap. I knew that. I know the name, but Maximilian Schell.
Maximilian Schell. That's it. Who was suitably crazy.
And who was the one scientist?
Did we say Ernest Borgnine?
He was the reporter.
He was a reporter. This guy.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, from Psycho. Wow.
God, we're old. Where's Ronnie when you need him?
I mean,
Ronnie hasn't chimed in lately, so
I'm going to remember Maximilian Schell.
It starts Anthony Hopkins.
I'm going to remember.
No, not Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Perkins.
I'm going to remember Maximilian Schell. This is the only movie I've ever seen him in. I'm going to remember that one.
Right.
I'm not going to remember Anthony Perkins.
But not Anthony Perkins.
I
like that Army of Evil.
You know what this is reminding me? I remember now. I had some of these as a kid.
So did I.
For you people who are younger than us, they did cards for everything.
I think I had some of these too. I was a big fan of the Black Hole, even though it wasn't a great movie. It was
one of the things that I loved about collecting cards back in the day. First off, here's a nice little decal.
Oh yeah,
that comes with it, and the back.
It's a puzzle.
One piece of a larger puzzle.
Yes, that creates a big image.
I missed that.
Me too. All right, is that all of your cards there, man?
Here's Maximilian.
So yeah, we get a sticker. I wonder if it would still stick to anything.
Oh
that's a good
I'm
question.
Sure.
Probably.
Oh, here's
trading card. Star Wars started the movie trading card bonanza. Because
Maximilian versus Vincent.
People needed anything Star Wars at the time. You guys just don't realize if you weren't around at that time, you don't realize how big Star Wars was. You may think that Harry Potter was a big deal.
Yeah,
it wasn't as big as Star Wars, folks.
I remember the first time our house was burglarized, and the burglars took my collection of Star Wars cards. I only had about 20. And they took all but 3. They went through my room, and that's the only thing they took out of my room were my Star Wars cards.
They were so valuable.
What I think is funny is like how the edges of the cards, like even the Super Show cards are rounded edges. These old school cards of baseball cards and everything else, they're sharp.
They can take your eye out.
Well, they could get like dented and messed up if you were worried about keeping these like.
Well, the difference is. The difference, though, now is that those were collectible cards.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can show.
But Super Show cards.
Look at this gum. Look at this
playing
gum.
Cards. It's not even pink anymore.
It's not appetizing.
It looks gross, and you're gonna eat that. And golly, this might be the end of you.
It's happening. Well, I mean, anything for some ratings.
All right. God, these cards are bringing back a lot of memories. So let's just go through them real quick. And, some of them kind of told the story, I think, if you had them in order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's more of the puzzle piece. Sean, we should just try to get enough of these to do the big puzzle. Golly.
We might have enough, man.
Hey, you know what? The robots in that movie were excellent.
They were super cool.
They were excellent design.
They had little action figures too, and that's the only.
They did, and I would actually like to have some of those again.
Yeah.
I had several of them.
I had Maximilian.
Dr. Hans Reinhardt.
Oh, yours focused really nice there.
I was in the right area, huh?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna get to
I don't think mine's
in a second.
I don't have mine set to
well, I'm trying, and now it's not gonna do what I want.
Yeah, mine's not gonna do that because I have it set to one focus, but
I got you.
I've got that one.
You got that one?
Damage devices.
See, and this one had a story summary on the back, so you can actually kind of read the story. Yeah, that gum could.
The enigmatic host.
That's what we're gonna start calling you, the enigmatic host.
The enigmatic host.
Here's the secret revealed.
Got that one.
Oh yes, good.
Got stuff on the back, and then we have
that bridge.
Battle of the Non-Humans, which Sean had as well.
I don't know exactly how you.
4 duplicates.
How would you describe that bridge that they had on the main ship?
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me kind of like some of those, like from the old anime space space shows, it kind of reminds me of that with a mixture of what you saw from the Star Wars movies.
I want
at the time.
I have never seen anything before or after that looks like it's very unique. It's like multiple levels, and I don't know. It's gothic. It's like gothic.
Yeah.
And
you
it
know,
was actual
starship.
And it's an actual set. That thing was massive.
It was
massive. Disney set.
So to describe these really quick, this is like playing, you play games with this card and people put them in their sleeves. This has a nice finish. It feels good.
Right.
This feels like if you would have handed this to me and I felt the back of it, I would have said, is this like a cardboard insert to like a toaster and stuff? It is just cardboard, and you can even see the stains.
It's got a little,
see the stains.
It has a little lamination on the
front,
but
nothing on the back. The texture is just like the back of a notepad, like you would get with the yellow paper.
Right.
And then finally, real quick, here's my sticker.
Nice.
All right, I like that one.
I'm gonna
great shot of Forrester.
I'm taking this right now, and I'm gonna see if it sticks. And I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna stick. It barely sticks to my fingers, but I don't know. I just put it on this bookshelf here. We'll see.
We can't see it.
I know you can't. We'll see if it stays. I don't know where I could put it to see if it would stay.
So we're gonna do a sticker check once a week now.
What's happening to the sticker?
Well, you know what?
He's already.
You know what?
It's already. It feels like one of those. What were those called? Not
chloroform. Not chloroform.
Not chloroform. Color forms.
Color form.
It's reacting like a color form. A chloroform.
Also, really dating you guys.
Yeah. Hey, you can still find color forms out there. So
and chloroform.
Chloroform. If you're into that, Sean, what are you sharing here? Are you just?
That's
got some information.
Of the bridge. Just so you can kind of get an idea. That's not a matte painting. That is all built.
That's all there. And look at
here's the actors. All of this was built. This background was a projection on a screen in the background with the planets and what have you. But all of this thing was built.
Yeah.
That's massive. And then they destroy this. To a degree, as they always do with movies. So I mean, this thing, the time, effort, love went into this thing, and then producers like, all right, we're done, tear that crap down.
Sticker already fell off the bookshelf. Sticker's off the bookshelf.
So do not tune in next week. It's already down.
It's already
down. It maybe made it 2 minutes at most.
All right, we can talk about the black hole.
I'm surprised the black hole hasn't been remade. As many rehashes.
That's right where I was going.
Okay,
yeah.
If nothing else, we talk about reimaginings and remakes and sequels and prequels and whatever. The black hole is definitely. They would have to change the story needs to be better.
Yeah.
I really think that. I mean, obviously the.
See, how there's black stuff on it.
Yeah, mine doesn't have any black stuff on it.
Ew.
I think that the gem of, I think you could make it like a space ghost story, where like the black hole is affecting things on the main ship, and it'd be like kind of scary and stuff throughout the entire movie. And then then they go into the black hole and something different happens than the original movie. And make it a little bit bigger and broader, make it cooler and, a little bit more sophisticated for modern audiences. I think that the black hole is definitely something that if you did it right, it could be an excellent movie. Now you could remake it and you wouldn't disgrace the original movie or anything.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to show you the cards that I have. Can you see these?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
There we go. Power of the Enemy.
Ooh, that one's cool because it has the robots on it.
I know. I like the robots too. There is the Heroes at Bay.
Yeah, and you know awesome. What? The robots are what made that movie.
I like that. Do you see the guns that they have? They're very similar. They're very similar to Star-Lord's guns.
Or Star-Lord's guns are very similar to their guns.
Yes. That's what. Right. No, right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this was 40 years before that.
Well, he was a kid, so if he made guns, he would
Destruction
make
of the Palomino.
Yes.
Oh yeah. See, now I'm going to go back and watch that movie tonight.
The limping humanoid.
The one of the things that really I thought was magnificent about this movie was some of their visual effects.
Yeah, definitely.
They had to create, this sense of weightlessness that was different.
There's my sticker. It's of the black hole.
I wouldn't peel that off.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. God, I would have loved that as a kid.
They created this sense of weightlessness using wire work, which at the time,
powerful laser blast. These titles are amazing.
They had all of these old techniques which worked in black and white film and stage plays, but
here's a dude at the corner of the picture.
They had to redo things and change things up, and
that's a good one.
Creative. That's one of the true magics.
They should digitally go back and fix her hair so we could watch it again.
Oh man, I'm with you on that. She's actually
fix her hair.
She's actually gorgeous. The reason why they had her hair. The reason why they had her hair like that is because it was supposed to be in the weightlessness of space, and so they didn't want her to have long hair that they had to animate or something.
She had long hair.
So she cut her hair for the movie. So that's the hair is unfortunately because they were supposed to be in space and they didn't know what to do during the weightless scenes. It's back before CGI, folks.
She actually got a bonus, if I remember right, for
yes, she did
chopping off the hair. They had to get her extremely liquored up, and
I think I've heard that story.
And they paid her
his world
big
torn
bonus.
asunder.
Oh, man,
Team Vincent or Team Maximilian?
Oh, I liked. Maximilian was pretty badass.
I like Maximilian a lot.
Maximilian was cool too.
There is Ernest Borgnine on the back of that right there,
and the gum stain that you're about to eat.
Yes.
And so that's what say gum. Stain,
and that's what the little black specks are. I bet that's ink from the cards.
Probably.
Is. All right, you got that gum? No, you gotta eat the whole stick, dude.
Dude, it's broken up. I mean, I can do that, but
okay,
I'm gonna put that in my mouth right now.
Okay,
you want me to put it all? I mean, I'm gonna eat
it. Hey, let's see you. It's just crunchy. You can hear the crunch. You can hear the crunch. Oh my goodness.
Is it just turning to powder?
It actually tastes like something, like a
bad. It never tasted good. So
yeah, bubblegum always had a very bubblegum flavor. It
had
its own animal.
At the beginning of it, it actually had a little, you can taste some sugar.
Okay.
Then it like disintegrates basically. Instead of it, you like in the olden days, you'd eat this bubble gum and it was dry, but your mouth would make it into gum, or something. In this case, it just disintegrated.
All right, bro. You're not going to distract us. Eat the rest of that gum, then you can talk.
And then at the end of it, it becomes really super nasty.
Eat the rest of that gum.
It tastes like sawdust at the end of it.
It cost me $20 to get these cards.
Like old sawdust.
Yes. I want you to see it. Scoop that in your mouth. Come on.
Dude, I ate some of it.
No. I knew you wouldn't eat it all.
Hey, I'm fine. I'm fine with how far you went. I'm fine with it.
Oh, Walt. You didn't pay $20 for black hole cards. I bet a day on eBay. Some dude walked in and looked at his wife and he goes, I did it. Because she didn't believe he would sell packaged black hole cards.
I have nothing in my mouth now. It's gone.
It just disintegrated.
It just disintegrates.
All right.
And leaves a really bad taste in your mouth.
I'm going to look for baseball cards from the late 90s to see if that gum tastes better. It'll only be 20 years old. I guess 30 years old. Oh,
I'm gonna say that that's exactly what I expected because I've done that before. So yeah, I'm glad somebody else has done it other than me. but there's video proof and
it's nasty.
Review. Yeah, it's nasty. Yeah,
it's not fun for the entire family. But I'm also, it didn't kill me either. It's just nasty.
At least not yet. So
yeah, I mean, I'm fine now. Tune in next week.
If you get the vaccine for something combined with that gum in your body, you might get powers, man.
I might turn into Wolverine.
God, that would be really cool.
It could happen.
Oh, Sean's like had enough.
Sean wants some of that gum. He's going to try it out.
Ronnie says that the shock value is awesome. Steve says, I feel sick in 3, 2, 1. Next week, giant slugs. Ronnie wants old fruit stripe gum. We talked about fruit stripe last week.
We did last week,
we
yeah.
Not because of
on the table.
That was
really old fruit stripe gum right now.
That was actually Shank's car.
What was the name of that dumb show on the Food Network or whatever where they ate stuff, or History? It was History.
It was History Channel.
History Channel.
Fear Factor, where stupid Joe Rogan's like, hey, got to make a cockroach milkshake. And
what was
stupid
it, like
people do it.
The food that made us or something?
That
I don't remember. I'm going to have to eat something else because that is nasty. It's sticking around.
I'm surprised you didn't have a glass of water there on hand.
Well, I have water.
Okay.
But water's not doing it, frankly.
He's got to eat some hair.
I need like beer.
I would say toothbrush and toothpaste. Even.
Oh, that's good
Definitely.
stuff.
Definitely.
Good stuff.
All right. Let's see. So do you guys, let's see, it's 1:36. All right. We are going to go on. Let me compose myself.
Woosa. Yeah.
Eating history.
Eating history. Okay.
That's the name of it, is Eating History.
That was.
I never would have come up with that. Hey, we're on Blast.
I like that one.
We're talking about things that we watched or played or read here over the past week, something we want to give some props to. And first on that, I think I'm going to go to Walt.
Yeah, I watched a movie on Prime, Amazon Prime, which was it was a Japanese sci-fi movie. I think it was called now I can't remember the name. Anyway, I think it was like Blast Storm or something like that. And watched it on a whim. Long story short, I'm sitting here looking at it. It involved giant robots.
That'll take care of it.
And I realized that it was a remake of an old Japanese TV show called Red Baron. So if you see this on Amazon Prime, it's fun. It's a nice little fun movie. I may come back to you next week with the actual name of it. Cool. Other than that, you know me, I got to go out and buy stuff. So here's what I bought recently, since we hadn't talked about this in a while. But we talked about a few weeks ago the Transformers Netflix series. Mm-hmm. And of course, I couldn't resist.
I'm glad you brought this up because I have a Transformer question for you as we go.
So I got an Alita 1.
Nice.
Found Alita 1, which, you know, we've seen Alita 1 all the way back to the original series.
How weird is it that they have Netflix on their packaging?
I like that. I think that's a good thing. Because you don't want somebody to grab it and go, that movie sucks, son. You don't need that toy.
Right. And so here's a Red Alert from that series.
So, Walt, have you opened any of these at one point and transformed them? Because the last time I purchased a Transformer, it was like the plastic was very cheap. You know, I say break, but really you could just snap them together and, you know, keep going.
So, you might be talking about the Transformers Prime figures.
This has been every bit of before I had kids. I bought like a Transformer toy just to it, and it was not very good.
The last few toys that I bought were Transformers Prime, and the limbs easily snapped off, but were easily snapped back on.
Yeah, and I heard that was so kids wouldn't really break them. It was for little kids to transform and stuff. And as an adult, I think I should be able to transform this thing without breaking anything. That's why I ask you, because I see these toys often since I enjoyed the Netflix show. Yeah. And I'm always tempted to buy something. So
now these are
ask you.
These are the first of the you could say like the new generation of toys. So here's another one, which is Optimus Primal, which will be in the third part of the Netflix trilogy. If you did not know this, so I'm giving a little
second
spoiler.
One out.
The second one is out. Yes.
Holy crap! I know what I'm doing after the show.
So this is kind of a spoiler. And then of course there's this, because I basically have an Optimus Prime
fetish.
Not fetish, but I have a what do you call it? A shrine addiction to Optimus Prime and Megatron. So anything that's Megatron or Optimus Prime, I immediately get. So there's this little.
I'm close to that with Starscream. That's why. So
yeah, Starscream is second. It's third. Excuse me, third on that. So
look.
But those are what I've gotten so far.
Walt, have you seen the Red series?
The Red series. What?
Transformers Red series, like RED. They look like Transformer robots in a package, just like an action figure. Like it's Soundwave, but it doesn't look like you can transform him. But he looks just like he does in like the cartoon.
Yeah. I have seen those.
I think it's called RED series. I thought it was called the Red series. The package is red, I thought.
So there's a number of different Transformers out there. Like there's the Masterpiece series, and you've seen the Masterpiece series. But there's a new series out where the figures look exactly like the cartoon, and I mean like when they're the figure, they look like the Generation 1 figure
from the cartoon.
Cartoon,
but I don't think you can transform them at all.
They have some that are transformable now.
Okay, I could be wrong.
And
Sean's
you're looking
about to show us stuff here.
Yeah, you're looking at dropping over 2 C notes for one of those figures.
I saw these over at Walmart, dude.
Well, I'm talking about the transformable
the ones you can transfer. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, see, I saw the little Soundwave over here. It wasn't $45, but anyways.
Sean, click on one of those for us so we can really see it.
Oh, they do have a Starscream.
There you go.
Yeah, I've seen those.
That's pretty sexy.
Yeah, it looks just like the cartoon. It is called Red. Click on that Starscream real quick there, Shawnee boy. Because that's what Scott might
That's the
need.
one Scott needs.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's got
got the crown and everything.
Crown and cape.
Man, if I can find that after my tax return, maybe I'll be
But yeah, there's the on the Hasbro Pulse website, there's all sorts of there's a Starscream that's transformable that looks like the cartoon Starscream.
Yeah, those are very expensive.
Super expensive. I see it and I'm like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, that's above my pay grade right now.
I've already told Jennifer, like, when we go down to see Walt, I just want to go in his house and play with all his toys, so I don't buy anything.
I tell you, I have so many that are still in the package that I need to do.
We'll open them together.
So
that's cool. Yeah,
we'll do a video of opening. So
yeah, no problem. Well, I'll open all your figires for you.
Hey, you can video. We can video it.
There you go.
For the show, Scott. Hey, Prime reviews.
Unboxing.
Unboxing.
That Optimus is awesome too. Has that classic axe like he had in the cartoon, and then the
but yeah, those are what I've consumed for now.
Let's talk about Ronnie wants to talk about your dog again.
Oh, Sydney,
let's
over there asleep.
Does Ronnie not own a dog? So he's tired of dogs.
She will be what? She will be 12 this year.
You sure you don't need to go like check on her?
Oh, she's fine.
Dude, that is a happy dog. Are you kidding?
She's fine. She's fine. She's actually bored, so
she's waiting on you to get done with this stupid show.
She is waiting on me to get done with this stupid show. She is.
Hey, I got one question last week on the show. I noticed that you had something in the background, and I wanted to ask you about it. Was that the Andromeda from Star Blazers?
That was the Andromeda from Star Blazers.
Do you have that within, like, somewhere?
Let's see.
I'm going to go to Sean, and if you have that,
to find that.
I would like to see that. Yeah, I would like to see it.
Okay.
Because I couldn't believe you had that, and I would love to see it. Okay, Sean, what's your on blast moment here?
As some people may know, I try to I try to get involved in Kickstarter quite a bit. There's a lot of up and coming illustrators, game producers, so on and so forth that need a little extra boost to get their stuff out there. So I like to participate as much as possible. And one of the things that came in just the other day is an art book by Eddie Nunez, Volume Dos, that came in. Absolutely wonderful. If you're not familiar with his artwork, I highly recommend checking out his Instagram. I believe he's got a Twitter. I have no idea about a Facebook. But he is a... Let me see if I can find something without boobs.
Nice.
He's a
that is nice,
wonderful illustrator. I've been following him for several months, maybe years. I don't know. I've been following him for quite a while, checking out his stuff and just being blown away by his work. So really cool illustrations. Again, if you get the opportunity to check out his stuff, there is his web address.
Nice.
EddieNunezArt.com.
Very nice.
Check it out. See if he's got any more books available. Buy them, enjoy them, love them, treat them as if they were your own.
Very nice, man. All right. Go to Scott.
All right. So this is really a belated Christmas present, and I think it's actually one of the coolest things ever, in the sense that, like, I was told this is coming for Christmas, and because Christmas is so overwhelming anyways, at least for my family. So, like, one more Christmas present probably at the time wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but knowing that I was going to get this and then it shows up and then I see it, I'm like even more excited, because I'm not looking at, like, 20 other different things or whatever, or the distractions of normal family Christmas. So my wonderful girlfriend, the wonderful and beautiful J.K. Brawling, Jennifer, she got me on this Kickstarter something I didn't even see. It's called Poopocalypse. It is a card game for immature. Now, I'm not immature, but I'm going to try to be as immature as possible so I can play this game. So she probably bought it for herself, being immature. No, this is right up my alley. So it's a fun little card game. I have not played it yet, but as you can see, the artwork, if I can get this thing to focus eventually.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it
has little, like, turd people.
Wait a minute. That guy looks like the Twinkie dude.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, he does.
Do you remember the Twinkie?
Mm-hmm.
Twinkie the Kid. Wow, Walt with the win.
Anyways, so this is a little poo card game from Kickstarter. It looks awesome. I've opened it. The contents are very actually, like, produced professionally. So, that's kind of the worry when you give support independent Kickstarters. You don't know what you're getting. The box is super nice. There's an insert inside. And she also, I guess, did add-ons, or maybe this was a part of it. But this is Number 2, the explosive expansion. This expands the game for 2 more people, and you can see that it's ages 8 and up. So this is something I can play with my kids. We have a game about penises that I'm not really allowed to show to my kids yet because they're not old enough. But it's also a very fun, immature game as well. It's called Cucumber Sandwich, so I shouldn't even said the penis game. I said the cucumber game. And then here's the other expansion, Magic the Splattering. And this also adds 2 more players to the game, and this is pretty awesome. The back of it says this magical expansion features characters from the fecal fantasy worlds of Harry Plopper, Lord of the Toilet Bowl, and the Chronicles of Farteria. It's not a standalone game, but when combined with Poopocalypse base game sold separately, it will increase your player count by 2.
Wow!
I want to play this. I want to play that game with little kids.
Oh, this is definitely going to be a family game, at least with my girls for sure.
I want to play that game with little kids.
The box says it's 15 to 30 minutes, ages 8 and up. It looks very fun, and we had, like I said, it's kind of in the same vein as our cucumber sandwich game, but we're not going to play that with kids yet until they're adults, because very graphic pictures. But this looks really fun and cute. So
Anyways, dude, she bought it for you.
Oh, for sure. She always teases me how I'm obsessed with poop. So there you go. Poopocalypse. I'm very excited for that. As
impossible.
TV shows I consumed, I watched the latest episode of WandaVision. As that show goes on, it potentially could be maybe one of the best things they've done Marvel-wise to me so far. At least,
Agreed.
like it is. If you have not watched it
different.
yet. Now that the 3rd episode is out, you can see where they're kind of going. For you people who it was going too slow for you, I actually have enjoyed all the episodes so far. Surprisingly, I'm glad that Jennifer enjoys us consuming a show together, because otherwise I'd probably have just skipped on it. The fact that they're doing these at 30 minutes long really helps me watching it, and so far I've really enjoyed it. If you have not watched WandaVision, give that a try.
All right. Good stuff. Let me put myself up here. I'm going to share this, and hopefully my computer doesn't crash. Wouldn't that be cool?
Hey.
I watched a couple of episodes of something called Dorohedoro, which is on Netflix. You can see this guy here. The one of the main characters here is this dude who has a lizard head. And they call him Cayman. So I guess he's kind of like a crocodile or something. But he has a human body. So he's been cursed by some wizards, or what they call them something else, maybe sorcerers or something. In any case, the whole world is kind of screwed around with magic and stuff, and then they go into another place, like another dimension or something, which is run by these magic users and stuff. What is going on with Scott right now? You have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. His friend here is a tough girl who does a lot of, as it turns out, she's kind of a magic user as well, and he's trying to get his regular face back. This is a series that is it's pretty graphic. Let's stop that screen because it's killing my computer. It's pretty graphic, and it's pretty it's got a lot of action in it, and it's pretty weird, but it's also funny. I mean, they managed to kind of do all 3 of those things, which is pretty cool. I really enjoy it. I think it's awesome, and it's available right now on Netflix if you're interested in that.
Have you read the manga?
And Dirk, I got
so
that.
not for young kids, Dirk, because my 10-year-old is
definitely not.
to really absorb
manga.
Okay.
Definitely not. It is very gory.
Okay.
I almost put that on over the weekend.
Might be some nudity in it.
Okay.
It's weird. It's super weird, but mostly it's just graphic. It's really graphic. I would say that's definitely for, the 8, you have to determine what how your kids are going to take stuff. I mean, I was watching rated R movies when I was 7 or 8 years old, and I'm okay.
Well,
mostly.
Oh, and Derek, I went and got that thing you wanted to see.
Oh yes.
So here it is. Here it is.
Oh man, that is my favorite ship right there. Like
model kit,
kind of all time. It has 2 wave motion guns on it. How cool is that?
And the other thing about this kit, which
wave motion guns. Is this from a newer series?
No, this is from the old series.
The second season of Star Blazers.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
So
they had an upgraded ship and they called it the Andromeda. I love the Andromeda.
So this kit, I've had this kit for years, and I decided I'm going to build this year. But but I got friends who are model builders, and I'm going to get tips from them before I start it, because this is lit. This has lights. So, so this lights up.
Dude.
So I gotta get some tips because I'm not very good. But there's more that I have to show you, because there's others that you didn't see, because I've even got a black tiger.
Oh,
nice.
So,
Steve's right on that. Don't you have the Tiger Fighter kit also?
Yeah, and
does he know you're on?
He already knows all this. And from the second season, they upgraded the fighters to the Astro Fighters. So I got.
That's what I want.
That's the one I want. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and even in the third season, the most known unknown third season, these were even upgraded to have like a little gunner up here on top.
Wow.
So, but also if you're an Andromeda fan, if you've seen the updated Star Blazers 2199, have you seen that?
Yeah.
And the follow up, the 2202.
I have not seen that.
Okay, so that's the second season, the retelling of the Comet Empire. There are 4 Andromeda class ships in there, and 2 of them are aircraft carriers.
Oh wow!
As well, but there's several in there. Without giving any sorts of spoilers, because of as to how they produce these things, they end up joining forces with the Gamelons, and the Gamelons even have some of these Andromeda class ships, and the way those things are decorated are phenomenal. So if you get a chance to see that second season of that, see it just for that.
I've got the live action, and it was
terrible.
Okay.
It was terrible.
It was okay. I appreciated the
effort.
Yeah, the story. You're right. The story was terrible.
Yeah, the visuals are decent. I guess the only thing that's really amazing about that is what's his name from Aerosmith did the end theme song.
Oh, right.
So yeah.
How can we destroy childhood memories? I got an idea.
Yeah, got an idea. Oh, and yes, Steve, the Cosmo Zero. That's next on my list.
All right, let's do promo time. We'll do it pretty quick.
Hey,
guys.
real quick on that Star Blazer stuff. Is that the old stuff on anything that you could watch?
It used to be on Amazon Prime, but it's not available anymore.
Okay, I figured you would know.
You should watch the new version though, because it's the exact same story, but it's
more fleshed out.
Updated. It's got better animation on it,
but
it's still the same story.
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Or you can order the Blu-ray from Funimation.
I'm about to say you can. Funimation also has a streaming service if you're interested.
Okay.
It's good stuff. We got a comment here. Steve says the new animated series of Yamato are sick.
I highly recommend watching it.
Because they're doing the new version, I would love to have done the voice of the captain of the Yamato. I mean, I know that a lot of that stuff happens down there in Dallas. It's like I would have killed to have done the voice for that character. That would have been a dream of mine. That would have completed that circle. Okay, let's do. I'm not going to go to individual people. We'll try to get through this as quick as possible. Scott, you want to name off your stuff here?
Yeah, you can catch me at Real Scott Prime, as you see here on Twitter. You can also catch me at bothdown.com or on iTunes or wherever podcasts are uploaded. We had a lot of good feedback so far. New episode dropped last Thursday. I believe some people who watch this show also watch the show. We've had a lot of good feedback from people as a new introduction for Blood Bowl and stuff like that. So if you're interested, listen to the last 2 episodes. You don't have to go back and do the whole bank of all 117 episodes of Both Down. So that's the main places you can catch me.
Cool, man. Sean, you want to go through your spiel?
You as always, check out rankingstudios.com for all of our current and upcoming projects. Check out the artwork, drop us a line, let us know what you think. Also, you can find us at Facebook /Ranking Studios. Again, just drop in, say hey.
I saw some enamel pins that would be really cool with that Ranking Studios logo.
I am looking into several different items of which to further show our fans' devotion to us.
Cool. Very cool. All right. You can check me out on Facebook at Dark Cooper Artworks. I've got some stuff coming. I've got one piece that's taking me forever. It's like the Sistine Chapel. It's just, it will never be done. I'm laying on my back trying to get it done, just like Michelangelo. You can also go to Twitter, Dark Cooper Plus. I'm on there, or you can go to Ranking Studios. I got a whole profile on there. You can check my work out, and you can check out the work of these other 2 cats here, if you're interested in that. We got some comments coming in. Ronnie says, "Great show, guys. Thank you very much. We sure appreciate Ronnie, that."
That's Norm.
A shell gets in under the wire here and says, once again, looking good in red, Sean.
You're very handsome, Sean.
It's true.
Ronnie asked,
only in red.
Ronnie asked if he can make some pins.
No, Ronnie.
Some pins? What are you? He's
an old man. He wants to hand out a pin and go, look, it's got a website on it.
I think that would be great. I mean, is he talking about carving? Is he talking about carving pins, or is he talking about we'll get?
Remember a few.
He means like a penguin.
Remember a few years ago, he handcrafted pins and.
Then I want to see that.
I have a lead holder, I believe.
I do as well.
If Ronnie would hand make that would be awesome. Then if it's coming from his
that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I was thinking, honestly, like a printed pin. No, there's nobody who watches this and goes, I need a pin.
Right. Steve says, thanks again, kids. See you next Tuesday.
We'll see you again too, Steve. Oh, by the way, Steve, I know your birthday is coming up soon. I have something to give you when we get a chance to hang out. So next time you're at Alliance Airport, let me know.
And he will text you a good naked picture.
No.
Naked picture.
Make sure it's a Friday.
He said I have something.
Make sure it's a Friday.
Is that what that means to you?
Next time you're out at the airport, make sure it's a Friday.
That's why I love it when it's my birthday. I get a naked picture.
Steve says, "Oh dear."
Oh dear.
You guys don't have cool cousins like I do.
Cool is cool the word, really?
That was a joke. It's a joke, folks.
Hey, thanks to our panel, to Scott, to Sean, to Walt. Thanks to everyone for watching us. Please leave a like or share wherever you see this. We sure do appreciate it. Anything else you guys want to
add? I've been meaning to get this in the last few weeks. Thanks to Steve again. So everybody, may the task force be with you.
Oh, nice. How about that?
Very good.
All right. For Scott, for Sean, and for Walt, this is Dirk Hooper saying, until next time, dream hard.